Hi everyone, welcome to Extra Mile Educative Channel. I am your host, Shujaa. Today we are shooting our video from St. Thomas Cathedral, Kerugoya. We are sponsored by Beton Safaris, and today we just want to continue with the stages, the 8 stages of psychosocial development of a child until old age, that is from birth to death. So we are now on the 6th stage, and we want to talk about the stage of intimacy versus isolation. That is why today we are having parents who are equally concerned about their youth. We also have youth, we also have our counselor, my colleague counselor, and we'll just be talking about this issue of intimacy. Every time I talk to the youth, quite a number of them appear to be having issues with relationships, issues of intimacy, and we are getting divorce cases when the youth are still in their youthful years. And people have been asking me, why is this one happening? I have experienced quite a number of youth coming to me for counseling services on matters related to intimacy, relationships, and marriage. So today we want to talk about this stage where we say that when a child gets to 20 years, this is the stage after identity or role confusion, and such a child has been able to navigate all the other stages properly and has been able now to go, is already now in college or has finished college and is working. We find such children, let me call them children for the sake of our discussion, somehow they've already socialized enough. You remember about the other stages that we said, that they were just socializing endlessly. But this time, they become more particular in the way they socialize. You find a girl wants to socialize more with men, all young men. The young men want to socialize more on girls. Why? Because there is that urge. The nature is urging them. That psychosocial stage of development is urging them to kind of get intimate with each other. This is where now, like we said in the other stage, they've already identified, they've already known the kind of identity they want to form in future. So even as they socialize, they'll be looking for a partner or somebody of the other gender whom they would wish to remain with for the rest of their life. So what happens at this particular age? You will find that as people talk, as you find a girl, a man, or a young lady and a man talking, they are even talking about their future. And somehow as they continue talking, they'll be able to identify, they'll be able to want to share their life with someone else. It now becomes a little bit narrowed to sharing life with specific people. This is where we find young men, young women getting married. This is the age where we celebrate marriages in a church like this one. So there are quite a number of issues that may come up. If you're not able to identify, to get intimate, to talk with a member of the other gender, you somehow feel isolated. This is why we are talking about intimacy vis-a-vis isolation. A girl or a boy may feel isolated, like the other girls are not getting close to him, or the other men are not talking to him. And this is where now, depending on the identity that this child had picked from the previous stage, we will have an isolated child may end up getting to the wrong vices. For example, may want to share his or her time in alcoholism, substance abuse, drug abuse, or irresponsible sexual behaviors. And this is why we are talking to our youth and telling them, hey, it's possible. If you find you're feeling isolated and time is still going and you find yourself you are at age 35, most probably you'll find your friends have already been taken away. They are either married or they have wedded. And in that case, you may feel so isolated. So you may jump to any relationship, you know. And this is why I'm finding quite a number of issues that I've counseled people on. Like you'll find someone has gotten a relationship in the social media, yeah, get someone and they continue relating. They have never met, but they continue relating. So when it comes to that time when you'll meet and now meet one-on-one, you find a very different person. Such a person gets so frustrated and is likely to pick any man or any woman and get married to such kind of a person. And I continue to tell the young people, if you don't choose right, then nothing will be right even after this, and you'll become a very frustrated person. So I continue to urge the youth, please be very careful when you choose your spouse. In case you find yourself, you're not getting an intimate partner, or you're finding yourself getting into things that you're not comfortable in, please seek psychological counseling so that we'll know where is the problem coming from. Is it your background? And remember what we said, every human being you find is a product of nature and nurture. You know, the genes you got from your parents, all the environment that you have grown through. So I think I have talked so much, and I wish to get probably the views of you people, especially the youth. These questions have been coming from the youth, and I may not have gotten so many youth, especially because of the COVID-19 season. We wouldn't have fitted with the 1 meter the way we are seated now, 1 meter rule, the social distancing. So you can ask on behalf of your colleague youth. I am sure you have socialized with so many, and you can ask for their behalf.
On behalf of other youths, I'm not above 35, yes. I'm not isolated, but I want to ask on behalf of other youths. What if someone feels isolated and maybe they wasted a lot of time, they felt that their relation didn't work well because they have never met with maybe opposite gender?
Yeah.
What can that person do?
That's a very good question. You may feel isolated, and I said you can feel isolated even within the age. You know, you're 25, you have graduated, you are now 28 years, and you're feeling now your friends have started getting married, and you're feeling, I have never gotten someone whom I feel like we can live together. At that particular point, when you're 28, for example, 29, 30, and you're feeling like you've not gotten, you're likely to get through some pace of frustration. Like you're feeling isolated. Actually, the issue of isolation, you may find it yourself that you're feeling, I have never found anybody who we can walk with. So in that case, we say, if you feel, even a youth feel that you have a problem relating with a member of the opposite sex or the other gender, seek psychological counseling. Because counseling is about you, as counselors, making you discover yourself, discover whether you have lost something as you grew up. But then again, what we give people is also that assurance that there is nothing wrong, because some people tend to panic. I have seen a lot of suicidal cases where the youth feel like they are already isolated and there is no one else who can give them attention. I don't know, Councillor Wahome, I am sure you can add something to the question he just asked.
one of the things that young people go through is impatience. Impatience brings a lot of frustration. And because young people are not as patient as they would need to be, they will find themselves running instead of walking. In relationships, you can't win on the first time. It's like you can't win on the first game. And because they say that life is about losing and losing before you win, it is important for our young people to realize that we do not have ladies or gentlemen packed there for you to pick. It is not a pick-up environment. It is an issue of integration, interaction, and decision-making. Of course, you will meet resistance from each gender, but we are advising and we are saying that it is easier to be patient and to be optimistic because someone may not have been brought up in the same environment as you, and therefore they need a lot of time to make decisions. Some people need to consult others because they don't have the right answers from your questions at that time. And also, we are also saying that in such situations, you can always team up with friends in order to convince someone that you are what you're saying they are. Remember, ladies are much more unique and they look at the finer points than the men. We say that the way a lady looks is what a man goes for. But the lady looks at the person's responsibilities much more than the physique. While as men, we will first be attracted by the physical attraction. Ladies will look at the emotional well-being of the man, responsibility, the way they are asking questions, the way you are presenting yourselves, because presentation is everything. How you speak, what you talk about, how you frame it, and in the way you receive answers is what counts. So we are telling our young people, take your time, don't rush, things will be well. Thank you.
Great. Let's applause our counselor. Thank you so much, Councillor Wahome. I don't know. That was the perspective of a young man called Nesh. What about ladies?
Okay, so my question, you've mentioned that a man might look for a character that he sees in the mother, and a lady might look at a character she sees in the dad. So my question is, where do you strike the balance? Because if I may say, according to me, there's a certain way I've been raised. So I've been raised, if I want something, I ask my dad. I should not ask a certain man. So when it comes to dating, I don't feel like asking a man for something. I feel like I should provide for myself, but yet I feel like he should show me the signs that he's responsible enough to provide for me. So where do I strike the balance?
Thank you, Beverly. That's a very good question. Actually, when we say that a man looks for a spouse who resembles the mother, that's another, I don't want to talk about the other theories, but it's so natural. By the way, nobody realizes. It's only that later you realize, and this guy has characters of my dad. Why? You love your dad so much that you don't want to lose that dad. So you've been raised up, and that is why I said, especially if the dad or the mother was a good role model. So in that case, you're looking for somebody who will be as responsible as your dad, somebody who is as caring as your mom for the mother. So this is so unconscious. In fact, nobody gets to realize it until when people grow old. I am sure you, the parents here, can tell. I don't know if you've seen, you've looked at a man and a wife. They are already grown. They are already aged, and you find like the man is like a sister, a brother to the wife. Why? Because from the word go, this lady was looking for someone who resembles the mother, and the girl is looking for somebody who resembles the father. So it's no wonder sometimes you find in a homestead where there are 5 brothers, they are likely to marry ladies who are almost, they are almost the same. They are almost the same. Why? Each brother was looking for a lady who. So that, nevertheless, is neither here nor there. It's so unconscious. So when a girl is choosing a man, obviously, and this is why we talked in the other stage, we said between 12 years and 19, the girl is always, rather a girl and a boy, they are always looking for identity. If they don't get this identity, then they will get role confusion. So if they have an identity, there is something, there is that future. If you want a future, you have seen some, I've seen some young ladies who keep saying, me, I want to be married by a Mzungu. So they're likely to go to abroad, they'll find their way. So if they say, I want to be married by a tall man, they will never look at the short men. They will never even entertain them. So there's no way they'll get to. So we are asking our young people, don't be so strict on the kind of man you're looking for. Just look at the characters you'd wish to see in a man. Responsibility, yes. If you're looking for a responsible man, then you won't go to look for that man in a bar at that age, isn't it? You won't go to look for that man in a wherever. If you know you're looking for this man who belongs or who is in church, then there is no way. If you don't go to church and you're looking for a girl who belongs to church, where will you? You get what we are saying, eh? So it's you who knows. When we talk about a responsible man, responsibility is relative. So what kind of responsibilities are you looking for? And I always discourage young people from putting materialistic things. Like you're looking for a man who has a vehicle. At that age, at age 30, where will this man get a car from? Yeah? Don't again look for signs like they come from a rich family or a poor family. Look for the character and the character of this man or this woman you're looking for. I don't know if your question is answered. Then whenever you have a spouse, before you introduce that person to your father or mother, first of all, study the character. Study that character and see if that is what pleases you. When you're comfortable, then you can go ahead, introduce the person to your friends, to your relatives, and to your parents. I don't know if Councillor Wahome, you would want to add to that.
Thank you so much. I want to be specific on Beverly's question.
Yes.
And I'm looking at a situation where our men, our young men, have been classified as irresponsible.
Yes.
Responsibility is what you see and what you want. And it's not materialistic, as senior councillor says. It is about what the value of that person is. The first responsibility is self-value. When I value myself, I'm likely to value others. When I'm not mean, I'm likely to be open-hearted to others. Beverly asks about dating and giving. Because dating is about giving, it's about sharing. She feels that she'd rather bring on her own money to cater for herself, yet she's out on a date with a man. But it is saying that the men are stingy and they don't want to volunteer to probably buy some lunch, pay for a trip, or buy some gifts. But the nature of man is about giving. And when you give, it's not about giving what you can afford. It is giving your time, it's giving your ear, it's giving your part to the person who you are interacting with. Our young ladies want a lot of assurance much more than a lot of gifts. It is about what are you prepared to do for me in this life. If we are going to hook up, what is your responsibility? What are your tasks? Imagine one of the biggest responsibilities our young ladies are looking for is a man being there for her, getting home on time, helping with the chores in the house, doing this and that, and company. The intimacy is about being there, exchanging views, ideas, and opinions. What is it about tomorrow? What are we looking at? So our young men should stand up and be counted in terms of provision of time and all other resources that they need to provide. Our young ladies need to be keen to listen to what is being provided for. And again, as my counselor says, is that take time to study each other. Let the young man know your views, your decisions, and let them know your boundaries. Let the young lady also know how far you are able to go in terms of this ABC, and you will be able to work together. It's about working together. It's about what you have in terms of provision, much more than what you have in terms of property. Riches do not belong to us, they belong to our parents, so we cannot boast about where I have come from. We cannot boast about the kind of vehicle I have. Vehicles have accidents every day. Homes break up every day. Your parents may tell you in simple terms, you own nothing here except the bed you sleep in. The plate that you eat from is not even your own. And therefore, we are telling our young men, be sensitive to the ladies' needs, listen and hear what they need from you. Ladies, listen to what the responses are from the young people. That way, you may be able to make right decisions the right time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I am thinking that we need to get some questions from parents.
I want to appreciate the work that you are doing, the work that Extra Mile is doing.
Yes.
And I also want to encourage our young people, our daughters and sons, that knowledge is power.
Yes.
This is what really very many people miss. That's why they rush. That's why they learn.
Yeah.
Instead of crawling, instead of walking, they find themselves in a mess.
Yeah.
And as a parent, and I've got children of this age,
Yes.
and we are worried.
Yes.
I just want to let you know that a parent, a concerned parent, is always worried whether my son will get in the right track, my son will, my daughter will go into the right place, we are always worried. And sometimes they hold themselves that they don't want to ask anything from us.
Yes.
It is like they assume that they know everything and they find themselves in a mess. And I really thank God because of such kind of a program, because if they are attentive, I'm very sure they will be able to make a decision without any haste. And they will not find themselves in a mess the way we have seen.
Yes.
I am an elder of the church, and sometimes it's like we are asking ourselves, why? Because today we have a marriage in the church, and we say hallelujah. The other time we feel like it's not working, and it pains. It really pains. So it is good to have time, go and seek counsel, and these people are giving counsel freely. Go and seek counsel from them, and definitely you will not mess up your life. There is something that people say, and I take it with a lot of concern, that it's better a broken relationship rather than a broken marriage. It really pains. It really pains. And if you want to start something, it's also good to calculate. Sit down and think about it and seek some advice. Guys, don't think that because you've never tried this thing. You've never tried these things. You are in that age, yes, but you have not yet tried. So for those that have tried, for those that have got knowledge, seek advice from them, and definitely you will not find yourself in a long, or rather in the long track. So thank you so much for what you are doing.
I don't know if Edith has something to say as a parent and as a mother who've interacted with these young people.
I appreciate, first of all, let me say I appreciate what you are doing. May God bless you. Mine is a question. You have talked about isolation.
Yes.
Is there any way a parent can be able to identify if a child has maybe an isolation problem, so that maybe a parent can intervene and look for a counselor?
Thank you for that question, Edith. Actually, most times we are approached by parents, because a parent will realize that the daughter has a problem with relationships. Problems may come in any manifestation of such problems may come in any way. Like, for example, when a daughter brings every other month, she's bringing a man, a new man, and every time she's saying that relationship ended, that is a cause of concern. You may also have a problem of where your daughter has never had a relationship. She's now 35 years. So, of course, as a parent, you get concerned, and this is what we are saying. Those signs of isolation, you may start seeing them as the child or as the daughter or the son ages. So when you realize that, it's just like sometimes you might discover it's a psychological disorder. You know, we talk about personality disorders that we may put them in the abnormal psychology and mental health area. So if you sought intervention, then you'll be helping your child. You get what you're saying? You'll be helping your child, because there is no point of as the other women or the other men, they are talking about your son or your daughter, you're also there not knowing what to do. Seek psychological counseling. You may realize, for the sake of Edith, who is asking as a mother, you may realize that your child was molested at a particular stage in life, and you've never discovered was molested either physically or even sexually. So they might have gotten to a stage, either men or women, to a stage where they fear those intimate relationships. And this is why we are saying the child may not even open up to you. Sometimes the child was molested when she or he was very young and cannot even recall. But when they go through a session with a psychological counselor, then they'll be able to feel, they may want to open up, and the counselor will be able to see where the problem is. That way, they will be helped out. It's quite a process, but a few sessions will open up, and the girl or the young man will not be isolated anymore. We'll start getting the issues or sorting out the issues of intimacy with ease. Yeah.
Thank you.
So I don't know if Mr. Julius, from you serve in church, and you have seen quite a number of weddings.
Yes.
Weddings, especially in our church, St. Thomas ACK Cathedral. And we've also seen marriages that have taken place, and within 2 years, or even 1 year, or even a month, we find divorce.
Yes.
Sometimes we may have children. The couple might have gotten children. I don't know how, if that one has happened, or how you handle it as a church.
Thank you for having me here, and also listen to you, a senior counselor. Yes, I've been here for quite a long time, 14 years, and I've witnessed young men and young ladies getting married here, and after a very short time, the marriage breaks. But there is this thing, I've been with them, and there is this thing of getting excited about getting married. You know, what normally happens, and I thank the clergy here because they always advise them, but we can have some few elements here and there. Not every marriage has been breaking up, but some. But what I've observed is that you see a man get excited because there is a colleague there who got married the other day, and so he rushes to get married, and there is this they call it swag, I don't know. There is this there is this thing with girls that if I don't have a boyfriend, the other girls all it is you'll be the perception will be that you are nothing in the society, and when they get into relationship, they don't wait, or they are not patient enough to hold on to their feelings. After a very short time, you find maybe a girl is pregnant, and so they will rush to get married. This engagement has lasted for only maybe 4 months, and the girl is pregnant. So to escape from this embarrassment, maybe from the society or from parents, because a girl would not want the parent to know she is pregnant. Now she'll rush to get married very fast, and so 4 months courtship. That's a very short time, surely, because so no one knows the other. You have not studied this one. You didn't know even whether the man is responsible. So when they enter into a house, so green, they are not ripe. So before they realize, you don't know the temper, you don't know this one. Then you see, after a very short time, and Pastor Morioki is a witness. He has been counseling them here, talking to them. Those who you hear they are fighting now, and there are these people, there are these girls who enter into a relationship expecting big things from these boys. And maybe the father is a millionaire or the mother, but these things the girl is expecting, they are not his. The boy got nothing. Now, instead of like what you are saying, they should look for the responsibility in that man. Not the materialistic. No, the responsibility in that boy. Now, they look at the father's wealth or the parents. Now, after entering into a relationship, it breaks. Now you will hear the girl telling you that she will never even, and that is a question I wanted to ask you, and this is the time. You hear the girl saying, "I'll never get engaged." Now I had one, but since I was frustrated by that boy, let me stay forever. I think I'll never get married because I was frustrated. Now the story maybe is long. They may not tell us everything. Now, I wonder as a parent, or sometimes we wonder as the church, because we cannot go asking all of them. They come. Could it be they are suffering from generalized anxiety disorder? Or maybe something else? I don't know. I'll wait for you, because you know the compound better as far as counseling is concerned. Thank you very much. May God bless you.
Well, it's true we have very many disorders. Unfortunately, we don't have a history or that culture of just checking on our mental health status. I hope this will improve it. But the point where Julius has spoken as a parent, and also someone who served in church, has seen people wed, has seen people having their marriages break even before they start. And we are saying the issue of patience, also what my colleague counselor has said, also what our parent and Pastor Muriuki has said, that patience is key. Then let our children not get excited. Let our children understand each other. Things may go haywire, like what Julius has just spoken about, that a girl finds herself pregnant and doesn't want to be exposed either in church, by the parents, by the relatives, in school, she will quickly rush to a marriage. I have seen a few cases where you even get married to not the father of that child, but just because you want to cover things up, you end up in the wrong marriage. We are saying you don't have to do that. Just know that a mistake has happened, and you can still make right something that has gone wrong. So we are telling our youth, please be patient. But then again, if you find, because we kind of also get to know each other, seek help in form of, you can get psychological help, spiritual help, and such kind of things. Then as we wind up, I would wish to mention that when the youth themselves, because they know each other, shortly I'll be asking Lillian of because she brought very many cases to me as a youth. If you find you have a fellow youth or your friend having issues, having problems, either intimacy or any other kind of a problem, especially when it comes to relating with other people, don't hesitate to seek help on their behalf. Talk to them. Call me. I've been saying that we have a toll-free number. Call me. I'll come to where that youth is. I know Vivian here has been bringing a lot of such cases, telling me to go to various homes to talk to such youth. And sure enough, when we talk, we'll be able to find we are solving very many problems among the youth. So Vivian, what makes you bring such cases to me?
Normally they do call me.
Yes.
And tell me they have issues. And sometimes they don't have someone else to share with.
Yes.
So most of the time they tell me, I want to talk to Shujaa.
Yes.
I want to talk with Shujaa. And that's why I normally call you.
Great. That is, I want to encourage all the youth. When you find a problem, I mean a youth with a problem, a youth who is stressed up, a youth who is threatening to commit suicide, please don't take those as jokes, those threats as jokes. A youth who says, I'll kill someone today, please don't take it as a joke. Call out, seek someone's help. And that is why we are there with Bwana Wahome, who is a counselor. In Extra Mile, we have so many counselors, and when you call upon us, we will be able to come where you are. Why? We call it Extra Mile because we want to go that extra mile in saving the life of the young people. We want to go to that extra mile in changing the narrative of the life of our youth. So this is what we've been saying, and we encourage everyone to subscribe to our channel, Extra Mile Educative Channel, and always remember to click the bell button so that every time we upload our videos, you'll be the first one to watch. Thank you. God bless you.